Good morning. It's Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. TGIF. It is August 23rd, 2013. The summer is slowly coming to an end. We have the doldrums. The summer doldrums started up about lunchtime yesterday when the market just decided to take a break, go on vacation, go to the beach. And we had a historic halt in trading for a lot of the NASDAQ names, Apple, Google. I mean, look at that. It's just kind of like, all right, taking the half today. Oh no, hold on a second. Oh, we got a trade, and they came back and finished the day. It was pretty ironic, though, that you would think that kind of issue would lead to maybe a plummet when trading started, but no, stocks just kept going up on their merry old ways. Pretty amazing. So anyway, it's kind of like the day the market died. It died for a little while, but it came back to life. Folks, come on. We got to have faith in the system. Remember the flash crash? We dropped some 1,000 Dow Jones Industrial Average points in the span of a couple seconds, and then miraculously back to life. And here we are. The Dow Jones Industrial Average at the time was dropped to as low as 9,200, something like that. Where are we now? Almost 15,000. So anyone buying these technical glitches is making out just fabulous so far. So let's look at some action we have today. We have Autodesk, which I was looking at the chart recently, above support. But if you look at a long-term perspective, we have two head and shoulders patterns. This head and shoulders pattern resolved down here. Earnings, this is when I got into the puts for earnings. It dropped back down but came all the way back up, put in another head and shoulders pattern. Again, dropped below, and then here, this pattern looks like it's going to resolve to the upside. We're up about 6% on Autodesk after earnings last night. We have Aero, Pastel. I was talking about this Sunday night in the week ahead. Sunday night and a week ahead, I brought up this chart. You can go to stocktwits.com, see the excerpt I have about what I was saying about Aeropostale. I was talking about this channel was in. It was putting in lower highs. I also brought it up at the blog at optionmillionaires.com, talked about it as a possible trade idea for earnings. Said it was going to break down. I said it'd find support about $10 or $9.50. I didn't think it was going to happen right away, but it worked out as the stock just melted lower all week, and now it's collapsing. It's down to $9.50. Pretty amazing call. Also, ANF, I called this one for a decline Sunday night. Said it was just chopping around in a $5 range here, that it was going to roll over to the downside. Talked about the $43 puts on the watch list earlier this week. They were 90 cents, something like that. They ended up being a 500 or 600% gain, depending on what price you got in, what price you got out. And there's ANF. It bounced off its lows, but still just a tremendous decline. Called both of those Sunday night, the week ahead that we run every Sunday night, every week at optionmillionaires.com, 10:30 p.m. For the people who can't make it, they're recorded like I did last week. And again, you want to check out the excerpt of that, go to stocktwits.com. Maybe I'll put the link up the blog, actually, at Option Millionaires. I think it's still there. Let's look at some other stocks we have today. HLF. I bought some pretty far out of the money puts recently. And I also bought some closer to the money, shorter duration till expiration puts on HLF. I think it's ready to roll over. We've been chopping around here again. Haven't really been breaking out since the move up out of the 50s in July. Everybody seemingly is long the stock, right? We have the analysts coming out, raising price targets. All right, it's an $80 stock. All right, well, where were you when it was $25 and the sky was falling, right? So anyway, I think it's running out of buyers. I know George Soros, and we have Carl Icahn. Obviously, Carl Icahn, I don't think he can buy too much more of this stock. And we have Soros, and we have a lot of investors. There was another investor that came out with a filing and said that he owned some shares of HLF. So I think, to me, the buyers, just like the market, when we hit our highs back a couple weeks ago, right? We hit our highs, and we've run out of buyers. That's it. And now the buyers are starting to come back, but we rolled over. Same thing's going to happen with HLF. HLF is going to roll over. Probably head back below the $60 level. Maybe find support here down at about 57. Bill Ackman came out with his investor letter 2 days ago, talked about how he thinks the stock's going to be zero within a year. I know we've been hearing this from Bill Ackman for quite a while. Obviously, he's got a massive short position in it that he's down significantly on, but he's holding to his beliefs here, and we'll see if it comes true at some point. But anyway, I just think it's a good short-term pullback trade. You want to say Icahn and Soros? I don't care who's in the stock. I'm just looking at the chart, looking at how far it's come, and the potential for a pullback here. I think it's going to run out of buyers. So we'll look at the S&P 500. Been talking about this for a while here after we've been pulling back, that looking for a V bottom. That's what I like to see. We had the V bottom in November 2012, the Abenomics low. another V bottom on the taper low. So as long as we hold above the lows here, which would be 150, this market is in bull. It's going to go higher. That's basically it. It's going to be still, and you can see just to start possibly here, this candle that we had yesterday, we're up almost 1% on the S&P 500 ETF. Could be the start of that V bottom. We'll see. We have a similar candle here at the low, although not as dramatic. Didn't hit as far to the bottom as we'd like to see. Maybe another 50 cents or a dollar to the downside, but ultimately we could be forming a V bottom here. We'll see if we get a spike up today in stocks. Right now, futures are higher off their lows. This morning, about 4 a.m., when the European markets opened, was when futures were at their lows. They've rallied ever since. So it looks like a bullish start to the day. It is Friday. It is the summer months. Again, I think that a lot of the issues with this pullback has been just lack of buyers. People are on vacation. People are at the beach, just like they were yesterday. They were at the beach yesterday. They said, oh, let's shut the market down. Let everybody go to the beach for a couple hours. It would have been great if they could have sent us all the memo so we could all went to the beach for a couple hours and just come back at 3 o'clock when they decide to get this technical glitch, if that's what they want to call it, resolved. All right, it's UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. Everyone have a great weekend. We had a great earnings week. Aeropostale, Abercrombie Fitch, both declined significantly, and a great trade for option traders there. I think the market has found some sort of a bottom here, and that we're going to look for higher prices heading into the fall. We'll see. Well, we have the taper talk, right? Oh no, they're going to reduce their $85 billion asset purchase program to only $75 billion. Oh my goodness, what's $10 billion? Come on. The bottom line is the Federal Reserve is it's not an exit strategy. They're not withdrawing all of the massive amount of purchases, the trillions of dollars on their balance sheet. They're not selling it back into the market. All they're talking about is slowing down the rate of purchases. So, in a way, it's a good thing. Oh, last thing I want to talk about TLT, and then I'll get going. But TLT, I was talking about this. I got into the calls the puts yesterday, and you can look intraday. In the morning, we fell from our highs, and I got out just around here. Posted it in the chat room, and you can see the bounce we had. I expect TLT to be a very volatile trade, but I think ultimately it's going lower. Not just lower, much lower. Okay, I think, and I brought this up, I don't know if I brought it up yesterday, the day before. We'll go back even further on the long-term chart. This run-up from 2011, this is where we are. So if somebody took an arrow and said, you are here, that's where we are as far as where we are now, except in the inverse. We're going to, these gains that we've had from the middle of 2011 will be given up in 2013. And we're going to plunge down to 90, which is where the real spike started, and then slowly melt down to 80 over the next, 6 to 9 months. All right, UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. So again, TLT is going to be a nice long-term trade, just like gold and silver was, if you stuck to your guns on the decline that we saw earlier this year. Everyone, have a great Friday, have a great weekend, and I'll see you Sunday night, the week ahead at OptionMillionaires.com. Goodbye.